Now, in Arizona, they're considering a bill that would legislate further discrimination against gay Americans. Now, in Arizona, you're already allowed to discriminate against gay Americans, but they thought they'd double down anyway and give business the right to throw out gays if they have deeply held religious beliefs against gays. Now, the problem with this bill so far is that business hates it. Now, who's in charge of the Republican Party? Yes, you've got Tea Party folks, yes, whoever they might be, some in the grassroots, some that are billionaires. You've got people who are very religious, you've got gun advocates. But in reality, of course, we know who runs the Republican Party, and it's business interests, it's corporate interests, right? Well, after the bill passed the House and the Senate in Arizona, all of a sudden, giant businesses looked up and went, "What is this?" Turns out they also like selling to gay people. They also have money. In fact, they have a decent amount of money, and they like doing business with them. And they did not like this. So even though the Republicans passed this in Arizona, all of a sudden a huge memo has been handed from their bosses to the Republicans saying, "I don't think so." So now the governor, of course, has a chance to veto it. And she's going to exercise that veto or not exercise it around Friday or Saturday. That's Jan Brewer, of course. And as Talking Points memo explains, every major state business group, along with several major individual businesses, have urged Brewer, a Republican, to veto the religious freedom bill. I read that sentence and then thought internally, yeah, that'll do it. It's already over. She's going to veto it. Okay, now we'll get to her in a second. Now let me show you the people calling for the veto. The Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Greater Phoenix Chamber of Commerce, Greater Phoenix Leadership, the Southern Arizona Leadership Council, American Airlines, and Marriott Hotels. And that's that. Okay. Oh, conservatives, you think you run the Republican Party? Religious right-wing people? You know, I'm not in favor of you. I don't agree with you, but you think you run the Republican Party? You don't run it, man. For maybe a little brief window. Now, what did I tell you? Money controls everything in politics, okay? And especially in the Republican Party. You think they're on your side? In this case, I'm glad they're not, but they ain't. They're on the side of business. Now, you see, let's watch. Let's see what Jan Brewer does. Maybe she doesn't veto it. Maybe it goes into effect.
Where does your gut lie right now?
Well, you know, I am a woman, and I don't rely a whole lot on my gut because I have to look at what it says and what the law says and take that information and do the right thing. But I can assure you, as always, I will do the right thing for the state of Arizona.
I will do the right thing for the state of Arizona. That was an interesting little addition. And she's the governor of Arizona, that makes sense. She's going to clarify a little bit more in a second. But first, let me give you some more influences that are pushing her in the direction of pro-business. One is the CEO of American Airlines. He says, "Our economy thrives best when the doors of commerce are open to all." That'll do it. In other words, we sell tickets to gay folks too. And besides which, look, man, we got a lot of business in Arizona. We don't want people boycotting Arizona. The Super Bowl is going to be in Arizona in 2015. The Super Bowl got pulled from Arizona in the past because they did not celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The businesses in Arizona are very burned by that. They don't want to go through that experience again. And finally, John McCain says, quote, "The entire business community is galvanized in a way that I've never seen against this legislation." Done. It's over. And finally, Jan Brewer, what do you think about the business community? Might that affect your decision?
Now, I've seen some reports of business leaders in your state very upset and afraid of what the damage could be to businesses in your state. The Super Bowl is coming next year, and obviously there are a lot of other potential problems. Is that weighing on you?
Oh, well, of course. But, you know, I have a history of deliberating and having an open dialogue on bills that are controversial to listen to both sides of those issues. And I welcome the input and information that they can provide to me. And certainly I am pro-business.
Certainly I am pro-business. OVAH. And thank God for that. It was a terrible bill to begin with. It appears that Jan Brewer will veto it. I always tell you the news ahead of time, right? I'm unique in that. And it's because, of course, the GOP is run by the Chamber of Commerce. If the Chamber of Commerce has made a decision, trust me, that decision will be reflected in what the Republican Party does.